You're tuned into Visions, a business and community affairs program designed to encourage and promote entrepreneurship in Central Alabama.
Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Vision. Cedric Varner, excited about our show today and excited about you, and thanks for watching. We have a guest that has been a friend of ours for a very long time, Teresa Jackson, and she's going to come and tell us about her great restaurant called J.W. Beverette Soul Food. Ms. Jackson, thanks for being with us on the program.
Hi, thank you, Cedric. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having us.
Of course, you know, you and I have been knowing each other for years and years, and just so people know the story of how this happened, you know, I started seeing the name J.W. Beverette, and then I thought I saw the name Teresa Jackson associated with it, so I decided to come in there that day to see if it was the same Teresa Jackson that I know.
It is, Cedric. And first of all, I have to say and let everyone know that you've always been my biggest supporter. No matter what I was doing, from the Education Foundation to working with pre-K, I could always depend on you to come through and to share things with me that I needed to know, to share with others, and to be more productive in the community. So I appreciate that. Oh,
well, isn't that nice? She didn't have to say all that. But thank you so much. Well, that's why we wanted to invite you today, because I knew that if you were working on this project and that this restaurant was yours, that it was going to be really good. So we want to let everybody know about your restaurant called J.W. Beverette's, and you specialize in soul food.
That's absolutely right. We're located at 1172 South Decatur Street, which is just adjacent to Alabama State University, which, you know, I am a graduate of Alabama State University and proud to be back here in the community. The soul food restaurant that we have is the culmination of time that I spent with my paternal grandparents and as well as my maternal grandparents. My grandparents on my mother's side of the family were farmers, and then they entered into the restaurant business a little bit later on in life. And my paternal grandmother is the Beverette, and she was a mother of like 12 children, and she was an excellent, excellent cook. And many times on Sundays, I would skip church just to sit there and to learn how to cook from her. So it's always been a passion of mine. And as I thought about the name for the restaurant, I wanted to incorporate both sides of my family. The J, of course, is for Jackson, and that is my last name. The W is West, that's my mother's maiden name, and my maternal grandparents' last name. And then the Beverette's is my paternal grandmother's maiden name. Wow. And there we have J.W. Beverette's.
Wow. So we're keeping it all in the family.
We are. And we actually opened the restaurant last year in November. We had the entire family there for Thanksgiving dinner, and we did a recording. It was great, and everyone was there. And the next day we opened. Wow.
Well, the food is really great, and I'm not quote unquote a food person, but you know I come in there every week now, and so that is just to say that it is really, really good. And what is interesting about it is that when you make the order, you basically take the order, and within 5-10 minutes,
it's ready. We do a lot of things cooked to order because we want them to be fresh. And that's one of the things we pride ourselves on. There are some items that we have on the menu that, of course, take a little more prep time. They are prepared in advance, like our oxtails. Delicious with bell peppers and onions and a really savory gravy over those, and they come with rice, and you have options of a variety of sides.
Well, we've got some photos we're going to go to here in a second. So that you can see. And so this dish that we are looking at right now is, I think this is your, what is this?
This is our Bama basket. Okay. And this is our own southern spin on buffalo wings. Okay. And what we do is this: we batter the wings first, but prior to that we season them with, we have a, Colonel Sanders has 11 herbs and spices. We think it only takes 5 in LA, Lower Alabama.
Okay, understand.
And then we batter those, and we fry those. Okay. And then we place our sauce on. That's a sweet chili Thai that you're looking at today. So it's a little sweet and just a little spicy.
Excellent, excellent. We've got another one we want to show. Tell us what we're seeing here.
Those are the oxtails that I mentioned to you earlier, which is a really a southern tradition, something my grandmother cooked almost 2 Sundays out of the month, because it used to be a really inexpensive dish to do, and a lot of people would do it with potatoes, and we do it with bell peppers and onions, and then we cover it. We have a bed of rice, and we put the oxtails on top of that with gravy.
And speaking of oxtails, you do like daily specials that you post on social media. And a friend of mine I referred to come in there, and he ordered. I specifically remember that he ordered the oxtails, and he told me later that they were really, really good. And I mean, he's from New York, and he was just raving on and on about it.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, and I'm very thankful for all the referrals. I'm reminded my brother had an opportunity to come back and to visit a restaurant, and I gave him some oxtails to go. And he called me back and he says, "Sister," he says, "just ungodly." And I wasn't quite sure where he was coming from because he's a minister. He said, "You're just ungodly good." So that was a great compliment because my brother and my siblings are always in competition when it comes to cooking on Sundays when we gather. So I'm delighted that your friend enjoyed this.
Oh, wow, he really did. And so we got another photo we're going to go to now. We want our viewers just to get a full perspective about the menu. And so what are we seeing here on the screen?
And once again, those are one of our Bama baskets there, and that's the buffalo one that we have, which is a little more traditional that a lot of people are familiar with.
Okay. All right. Real good. Now, and what are the things that you just mentioned earlier before we were coming on set was that these are all family recipes.
These are all family recipes. We might have tweaked them just a little bit along the way, but the core ingredients are family recipes that have been passed down from generations. Like we have a dressing. Some people call it cornbread dressing or stuffing. And it's very savory. It has bell peppers and onions. And I always tell everyone when we're making it, if you can't see the bell peppers and onions, then it's stuffing, and we make dressing here.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, let's talk about your journey. We showed you, of course, you're a graduate of the Alabama State University, and we want our viewers to know that. You saw the segment that we did with Dr. Ross, Dr. Quentin Ross, the president, the other day, and we enjoyed having him. We let him know that we wanted to make sure that he knew, and we told him personally that you were there. Yes. And what's been your journey? Of course, entrepreneurship, it takes a lot to get to this level, even where you are now. What did it take for you to decide, and what's your background that brought you to this point?
Well, it's very different from my background, to be honest with you. However, I would like to touch on one thing with Alabama State University. I did watch your interview with Dr. Ross, and I love being a part of that community. And one of the key reasons why I started this restaurant is because my grandparents, when they were in church and they needed a wing on the church, they would sell plates. They would sell plates and build an entire wing on a church. So I've worked in the nonprofit sector for quite some time. And for me, it's about giving back. And that's what this restaurant is all about. So over the last 6 months, we've given away over $600 to the community doing fundraisers. So for me, it's been about giving back to the community. But just to go back to your original question, my journey, I'm a graduate of Alabama State University. I was there when Dr. Ross was there. He's actually one of my classmates. And so I am elated. I'm excited that he is now the president of the university. And I listened to him say communiversity. And that's what I want to be, a part of the communiversity. And they've shown me enormous support. After graduating from Alabama State University, I did work here in Montgomery Public Schools for a couple years. At George Washington Junior High School, and I loved it. It was like the best kept secret in Montgomery. After leaving Montgomery, I did marry, and I moved to the Washington, D.C. area, where I worked for Prince George's County Public Schools. And I did that for about 6 to 8 years, I think it was, somewhere in there. I worked with that program in Maryland, Prince George's County. After that, unfortunately, I went through a divorce, but I'm still very good friends with my ex-husband and his family, great people. Returned to Alabama, came back here to open a veterans home. Well, originally it was a group home for girls, and we did that for a few years. Then I went on to work for Congressman Bobby Bright, where I served as Deputy District Director. And did that for 2 years, and hung around the Dothan area, spent a lot of time with my family, and something that I hadn't done in a very long time. And then I returned back to Montgomery. Worked here for the Montgomery Education Foundation, where pre-K was a passion of mine. And then I moved on to work for Central Alabama OIC. I'm sure that the community is very familiar with Miss Connie Harper, Miss Sylvia Harper.
The legend.
The legend, exactly, the living legend.
That's right.
And I've gained so much knowledge on nonprofits and community outreach and filling those needs and those gaps where the community is falling short and needs help. So for me, this restaurant is about giving back. So what we're going to do over the next 6 months, we're going to try to double what we've given already. And for a small new restaurant to give away $2,000 in 1 year, I think that's a great goal.
It really is. It's fantastic. We want to commend you for that. I think it's just great to hear your history, everything that I know that you've done. You've been very diligent, and kudos and compliments to you with everything. That's one of the reasons why we wanted to invite you today. I think it's fantastic. One of the things that you mentioned about Alabama State University was supporting the university and supporting the band. And we know that the band is going to participate in the Rose Bowl.
Yes.
And you've been helping and assisting with the fundraiser for that trip.
We sure did. We did a fundraiser, and we did that online advertisement. We have a delivery service right now. We have one that is called Waiter,
Yes.
and we're just signing on today with another one called Grubhub. And a great service. If you're at home and you're unable to leave for whatever reason, or if you're at work, all you have to do is log on to the app on your phone or your computer, and you're able to order from us and have it delivered to wherever you are at that particular time.
That's great. Yes, we definitely want to make mention of those apps, and I think even your Grubhub app, for people who sign on to that, there's a percentage, there's a discount, I think, that you got going for that.
Right.
As part of the promotion.
You're absolutely right. Right now, Grubhub is doing an advertisement where they're giving actually $12 off any order that is $15 or more. And we actually have coupons inside of the restaurant that they have given us up to the tune of $10,000 worth of coupons to give out to our customers. So if you come into the restaurant, when you leave, you're going to leave with one of those coupons. And if you order online after leaving there, on any particular day, then you're going to receive $10 off your order as well.
Excellent.
That first order.
Very, very excited. Every time that I go, I see a Waiter app driver there that's delivering food. And so once again, we're just very excited. We think it's certainly you're walking by faith, not by sight, and then you stepped out. We know that we have to do that, and we just wanted to show your journey. I'm there every week. Want to encourage everyone to go by to see Ms. Jackson at JW Beverette Soul Food. We got a few photos we're going to go to as we continue to close, so that you can see many of the great dishes that she offers. And we've got the signage on the screen now so that you can know what the hours are. You can also reach you by Facebook.
Yes.
Because you post up your information on Facebook daily.
Yes, we do. We list our specials daily, and for the month of August, we have a special now. So if you'll log on to Facebook, JW Beverette, you'll see that special where our price ranges basically are from about $5.50 to about $15 if you get oxtails or something like that.
Excellent. Ms. Jackson, we're very excited. Thanks for coming on and being with us on the
It's
program.
so great
I'm going to be
you.
over there this week, so we just want to let you know that I'll be over. And so we want to encourage you to come by and see Ms. Jackson at JW Beverette. That's going to do it for us on this segment of Vision. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.